gainers. Mesoblast up more than 10%. ResMed up more than 5%. Really only energy was the only sector in meaningful decline today. A pretty positive day across the board to start our week, as you say.
As Chris mentioned, SEEK closed at a new record, but it wasn't the only one scaling new heights.
It wasn't a really good day for SEEK, though, and this is a win for the business because, of course, recently had Ian Narev take over as CEO with Andrew Bassett stepping back a little bit and doing some more strategic stuff for the business. So a good result there for SEEK. I mentioned Mesoblast and ResMed, of course, already. It was a pretty good day for many of those tech-related, healthcare-related businesses. That optimism of risk on, as the Boffins like to call it, I hate that cliche, but it's kind of true at the moment. Those growth businesses are back well and truly in the market's good graces.
Australian agribusiness giant Elders, their share price slipped despite announcing significant profits. What's behind that?
Yeah, down a little bit, Tomo, down just under 1%. This was a story, I think, of Elders pretty much doing what the market had expected. That's not a big fall. The share price has done reasonably well over the last year or so. It's just been a fantastic time for agribusiness in general, as you mentioned, whether you're in the crop business, the export business, of course, meat and livestock. It's been a very, very good time for Australia's farmers. They've deserved it because they've struggled through drought for a lot of the previous few years. Elders getting the benefit of that as well.
Can we quickly touch on the property market? APRA today hinting borrowers could face even tougher lending rules. What extra requirements could we see imposed?
It is a bit of a guessing game, Tomo, but APRA, this is a real shot across the bow of the property market. Two big areas they'll probably look at. We know that lending buffer, the incremental amount banks are obliged to add to your repayments to make sure you can meet them if interest rates do go up. That's gone up from 2.5% to 3%, and that may well, in fact, probably will go higher from here. When it comes to the market itself and the lending criteria that banks apply, there may well yet be rules like there were a few years ago on investors, limiting how much that investment lending can grow, or also the amount of money that home borrowers can borrow and have to have potentially a larger deposit, which would be a real dashed hope for a lot of young people trying to get into the property market.
And lastly, Scott, what are the US futures pointing to?
Literally dead flat in early trade on futures, Tomo. Not a single point in either direction for the S&P 500. Nasdaq down a little bit. The industrials making up for it, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there overnight.
Scott Phillips, thank you.
Thanks, Tomo.
You're watching our National Bulletin of Nine's Late News. Sherry Lee Biggs joins us next with a look at tomorrow's weather forecast.
Thanks, Tomo. Well, it is feeling more like winter in the southeast at the moment. A big dumping of snow overnight and a cold snap, which is breaking records. I'll have the details on what's ahead coming up next. Welcome back. Well, warm weather seems unimaginable for those in the southeast of the country at the moment. A cold air mass over the region has seen records tumble. For Melbourne, the last 4 days has been the coldest spell this late in the year since records began 167 years ago. For Canberra, the coldest run in 99 years of records. Now, snow has also fallen as low as 800 metres in southern New South Wales and Victoria, as low as 200 metres in Tasmania. Now, conditions will start to clear from tomorrow as a ridge of high pressure moves in, but it will still be quite cold. Tomorrow, Canberra will start with a minimum of just 1 degree. A clear day, heading for a top of 17. Melbourne, a possible morning shower and 16 degrees. Hail is possible in the morning for Hobart's western suburbs. Otherwise, just a shower and 14. Patchy cloud and light winds around Adelaide, 19 degrees. A warm night in Perth and a top of 25 to follow. Heat wave conditions are building in Darwin this week, 37 degrees. A beautiful day in Brisbane, sunny and 30 degrees, and winds will be easing in Sydney, mostly sunny and heading for a top of 21. Looking to Wednesday now in Canberra, partly cloudy conditions and gradually warming up as well, heading for a top of 19. A foggy start for some suburbs in Melbourne, a lovely 21 the top. The last day of dry conditions for Hobart before showers return, 18 degrees. 26 in Adelaide, and it is warming up in Perth, 25 degrees, an overnight low of 26 in Darwin, but a sunny top of 37 to follow. Conditions are taking a turn in Brisbane on Wednesday with light showers, heading for a top of 26 and some patchy cloud and 22 degrees in Sydney. So there is some warm, clear conditions ahead, Tomo, but they're not set to last.
As always, as has been the case for the last 6 months. Sherry, thank you. That wraps up Nine's Late News. You can watch us tomorrow night a little earlier at 10:40. Our next bulletin is at 5 a.m, followed by the Today Show with Carl and Ali. I'm Michael Thompson. Thanks for your company. Good night.